right, race fans, 16 modified races this past weekend. Let's get to Ryan's recap. Then we'll get to the power rankings. Grand Rapids Speedway, National Rookie of the Year contender Brandon Kopp. He drove by the 45J on the bottom in a rare appearance up at the Grand Rapids Speedway. And then on Friday night, he went to the G.O.A.T Speedway from 8th. Got it done over there. I believe that's his third of the year in Superior. I tell you, keep an eye on the 22 this weekend at the border battle. He could be definitely a guy to contend with. KRA Speedway over in Wilmer, the Iceman, Don Ishins, he parked his victory lane, and then he went to the Fiesta City Speedway on Friday, $1,000 payday, double up on the week, 4 on the year, kept the 7A behind him 2 nights in a row. Ishins with 4 wins, looking really good. Brown County Speedway, it's showtime. Kent Arment adding another win to his impressive resume out in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Eagle Valley Speedway, Matt Lear, he made the trip to Jimtown. He scored his first of the year. Could it have been a little test trip? They got a big show here this weekend. Keep an eye on Lear. He's clicking on all cylinders. I-94 Sure Step Speedway, Travis Sauer, he checked out. I mean, he flat out drove away from the boys over in Fergus Falls. Great run as well for Ryan Gerke with a solid second-place finish. SK Speedway, Andy Carl. He got his third of the year over in Unity. This is a guy to keep an eye on. He doesn't run much. He runs some IMCA stuff out east, but great to see him get some wins there. It's a guy I want to watch a little bit. ABC Raceway, Neil Baldock. Great to see him get back in victory lane. I'll never forget his first one because I may or may not have dumped a cooler of ice water on him. I think it was at the Proctor Speedway. It was maybe his first win, but Baldock, your winner in Ashland. The Hibbing Raceway, Jeff Tardy. He got his first win since 2017, which is mind-boggling to me because he's won a bunch in Hibbing, but they've had a couple tough years. Great to see the hard work paying off for the 67. A side note there, Ryan Jensen took a wild ride. His car is junk. Glad to hear he's okay. Might have been one of the more violent rollovers I've seen. He hooked the cushion there in 1 and 2. Hope to see the 23 back on the track sooner than later. Madison Speedway, Brett Hoyam. He put the 5 ride in victory lane, his second of the year over in Madison. Now, the Miller Central Speedway, Trevor Anderson. He parked his Aero chassis in victory lane over in Miller. I think that's number 3 on the year. Congratulations, Trevor Anderson. Ogilvie Raceway. This was a good race. The 2C of Dave Kane. He got his second of the year from 5th. Sabraski was coming at the end, but the 2C was just too strong. It's going to be interesting to see him up in Superior this week. Viking Speedway, Dusty Bitson. He scored his third of the year on the high-flying half mile and punched his ticket to the AFCO Race of Champions. Bemidji Speedway, Danny Vang. He made a rare visit over to the home of the Chicken Shack and left with his ticket punched to the AFCO Race of Champions as well. Congratulations to the 47. And then the Casino Speedway. After a full weekend of late model racing, the 1 TPO of Tyler Peterson, he cruised to the win in Watertown and punched his ticket to the AFCO Race of Champions. Little side note, Watertown, the wild child, Scott Ward, he's back in a mod, 8th to 2nd over there. So this is a guy to keep an eye on. He knows how to get around that place now. He's in 2 classes doing it. So let's get to it. The June 30th edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Modified Power Rankings. At number 10, Dusty Bitson. Another win this past week puts him on 3 on the year. Bitson is solid at number 10. There's a few of them right on his heels there, but you know he's got Gertis. It seems like they've been pretty even, but Bitson had the better week, so it's really close in the top 10. There's a few guys there right on his heels, but Dusty had a good week. Number 9, Johnny Broking. I need more out of the 45J. I'll just be honest, right? He's got some wins. He had a win at the Advantage RV Mod Tour race over at the Helverline Speedway in Proctor. He's solid, but there's something missing. Now, he has back-to-back wins, in back-to-back years because it's multiple days at the border battle up at the Gondakla Speedway. He's looking to make it 3 in a row. I know they're going to do some testing there on Thursday, so let's see if Johnny Broken can find victory lane up in Superior, Wisconsin. Number 8, Jody Belfi. Started second row and missed the podium in back-to-back nights. Now, I get it. Mod racing's tough. I get it. But he went backwards, right? So, with that said, this is a guy that can stack them. He can, when he's on, he's on. When the drier it gets, the better he goes. Let's see how it goes in Superior. Of course, he's got to win at the Great Lakes Border Battle as well. So he's another guy to keep an eye on this weekend. It looks like a lot of the guys here in the top 10 are going to be up in Superior. This weekend's going to tell the story. Number 7, Dave Kane. Now, sheer numbers, they do not put him in the top 10. The numbers do not put him in the top 10. The eye test puts him in the top 10. He had a great weekend with a second in Superior and a win at Ogilvie. The car is really fast. He is my sleeper pick. Right now, I'm saying it. He's my sleeper pick to win one of the 2 days at the Border Battle this weekend. Number 6, Don Eichens. 2 wins on the week, and he held off the 7-8 both nights to do it. That's not an easy task. Plus, a solid showing on the Advantage RV Mod Tour just a couple weeks back. Eichens solid in the top 10 at 6. Number 5, Brandon Kopp. 2 impressive wins this weekend. Kopp, he's extremely solid. 6 wins on the year. 3 wins already in Superior this year. Could this be the weekend for him to get a big win? Keep an eye on the 22 up at the Border Battle. Number 4, Cole Spacek. A rough night on a iffy track. It is what it is. It was tough to pass. I looked at it in the mods. There wasn't a lot of movement, okay? But he's been stout all year, has a couple big paydays already at the ABC Raceway. I expect to see him up in Superior. I'm hoping he's there. If he is, he could be a contender. It's going to be a fun race this weekend up there. Number 3, Tyler Peterson. He focused mostly on the late model this weekend, and he ran really well in it for sure. And then he scored his 6th of the year with a win over at the Casino Speedway in Watertown, the 1 TPO, and clicking on all cylinders. One of the most exciting guys to watch in a modified. Number 2, the Iron Man, Shane Sabraski. A great bounce back week. He struggled, last weekend at Cedar Lake he struggled, and he was, in the top 3 or 4, I guess, every night the week before. But I expect to see him winning races, right? He had 3 straight seconds, so it was a good weekend for him, and he didn't start in the front. He had to kind of come up through the pack to get there, but he's leading the win count at 11, and let's face it, he's really, really good at Superior. So let's see what happens this weekend, and there's a bunch of these guys in the top 10 that are going to be there, including the next guy, which is at number 1, Ashley Anderson. I saw on his post that he's heading to the Border Battle, which is super exciting, because just in the top 10 alone, I'm expecting to see Anderson, Sabraski, Cole Spacek, Brandon Kopp, Kane, Belfi, Broking. I don't know about Eichens. I think he might be heading there as well. Tyler Peterson, I haven't heard. I don't think Bitson's going, but a bunch of them will. Now, he didn't race the past couple weekends, but in 9 races, 7 wins, and 2 seconds, okay? He's heading up there. This weekend's going to tell the story, but for now, Ashley Anderson is sitting at number 1 in the June 30th edition of the BuyRaceshirts.com 1 to Go Show Modified Power Rankings.